That night was terrifying. You can hear people yelling, screaming, and they were coming through there shooting and still attacking folks.
Welcome to the Sipp where the blues play. Good food and open spaces. We living like kings. Friendly faces, affordable land, and success in our hands. Welcome to the Sipp where the South say.
What it do, what it do? This your fam, G. Lewis, saying welcome back to the Sipp. For all my folks in Oakland, Chicago, Detroit, and New York, I want to take this time to say welcome home. I know it's been a minute since I posted a video. It's been about 2 weeks. But this video right here is coming at the right time. I've been working on a short documentary, about a tumultuous time in Mississippi's history, known as Bloody Sunday. It's an event that took place April the 24th, 1960, during the height of Jim Crow. I sat down with a griot. His name is Clement Jimerson. He's now 79 years old, sharp as a whip. And he shared with me historical account of an event that took place in Biloxi involving segregation and the beaches. Before that time, Mississippi was not allowing blacks to gather on the beach, but because that beach is man-made and it was paid for by taxpayers' dollars, a young Dr. Gilbert Mason was from Jackson, Mississippi. After he finished medical school at Howard University, the state of Mississippi paid him $5,000 grant to come back as a black physician and treat its black citizens. Blacks couldn't go to medical facilities that housed white patients. The whole thing was split down the line. So he came back to Mississippi and he set up shop on the Mississippi Gulf Coast in the city of Biloxi. Mason was a swimmer, very good swimmer. In fact, he made this swim team while he was in college. So when he relocated to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, he was excited about being on the coast because they had the beach. So he decided he wanted to go out to the beach, and take his family. But he ran into opposition by the Biloxi Police Department. He didn't like that, didn't sit right with his spirit, so he decided he was going to challenge Jim Crow law. So he gathered up the citizens in East Biloxi, and he decided to go back down there and do what they call a peaceful protest. But it wasn't a peaceful protest like the ones you used to seeing in archive footage, where they're walking and marching with signs and singing. No, this was more just a gathering, an outing at the beach, per se. So it involved women and children, and very few men, because most of the men in Biloxi had to go to work. They had to pay the bills. So Dr. Mason, a couple of other men, galvanized and strategically set out to defy Jim Crow laws and to shake things up. What ended up happening was, on April the 24th, 1960, they went down to the beach and they were met by opposition from an angry white mob who were defying their civil rights to go on that beach. Mississippi press didn't cover it, but the New York newspapers did. And they called it one of the bloodiest race riots in Mississippi's history. I didn't know a lot about this. So when I sat down with Mr. Jimerson, now 79 years old, he relived that history for me. And I will drop that video very soon on my YouTube channel. This video is not so much about that documentary I'm working on. It's more about why wasn't this taught in school in Mississippi? And is it being taught now? I truly believe it's not. But if there's anybody watching this video, leave in the comments for me if you're from the Sipp. Let me know. But at the time I was going to school, this wasn't taught in school, man. They didn't mention anything about it. They fed us a whole lot of Confederate history. I remember going home one day and sharing with my parents about being proud of the fact that Mississippi, Biloxi, once had a home that was occupied by the President of America. Me, in my lack of understanding, and those school books, those public school books, and their way of rewriting the narrative led me to believe that we were talking about an American United States president. But that wasn't the case. We was talking about a Confederate president. Big difference. I didn't come to find that out and learn about that until later on. But the point is that how much history of the Confederacy is still being whitewashed and spoon-fed to the youth in public school in Mississippi. And why isn't it that we know about stories of local heroes throughout the state of Mississippi, such as a young Clement Jemerson and a physician like Dr. Mason and what they done? That's why I'm sitting down here and I'm making this video today. A lot of this history was not shared in the school books, and it's still not shared. As I wrap up this video in conclusion, this is what I want to share with you all. We, people who look like me, you got kids who got kids, or maybe you have adopted grandkids that you're raising. We have got to share the history that is not being taught in the school books, not just in Mississippi, but all across these United States. And I believe it's imperative that we do our part and become the griots that our ancestors would have wanted us to be. My name is G. Lewis. Until my next video, God bless.